Hey Toski, what deck should I play? What? Alright then, keep your secrets. Alright, what is up my friends? Welcome to another Monday video here on CoolStuffInc.com. Busy weekend. This weekend saw the MPL League weekend play with the Rivals League and the MPL League, as well as the Arena qualifiers. Of course, the big PTQ event on Arena happens about once a month. And this deck was kind of the surprise event. This actually humorously, so this is from Croquis, who as of recording this went 7-1 on day, or 7-0 on day 1 of the qualifier. Don't know what happened on day 2. So Croquis played this list, but it's actually pretty funny. This deck was built by Michael Majors week 1 of the format. And Majors wrote about it. Majors obviously phenomenal Magic player. Worked at WotC, now he's back out. And week 1, pretty similar to this deck, was in his article, which is pretty amazing. But what we have here is a take on the Naya Adventures deck that is all about the squirrel. And Toski, Bearer of Secrets, while it looked like a silly card in the previews, it's a 1/1 squirrel, which is just like a legendary squirrel by itself, looks just silly, has quietly been moving up the ranks here as a very exciting card in Modern, in Standard. And Toski is a 1/1 for 4. It's a squirrel. Indestructible, can't be countered, must attack every turn, and then whenever a creature your opponent or creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you draw a card. So it's sort of like a 1/1 indestructible, can't be countered Biden of Thassa. And not being able to be countered is great. And then being a creature is also great too, because it obviously attacks by itself. It can block for a turn. Turns on Lovestruck Beast. It has other various benefits of being a creature. So Toski's pretty awesome. And we're playing the full 4 copies here. So in order to enable Toski, we have the basic adventure core of Giant Killer, Innkeeper, Bonecrusher, Lovestruck Beast. We're also playing a card that I do love a lot. Clarion Spirit, 2 for 2. Whenever you cast a second spell, you make a flyer. Obviously the flyers play phenomenally with Toski. And then all your adventure cards are actually just 2 spells in 1 anyway. So very easy to trigger this every turn. I am a huge fan of this card. I love this card. And to help power things out, we've got Jaspera Sentinel. They're kind of quietly good card from Kaldheim. And of course, Showdown with Skalds, one of the best cards in the set, and one of the best cards in Standard. Just an amazing card advantage engine for any creature deck. Just super, super good. 2 Gemrazers and a Jegantha, and that's the deck. Nothing too crazy here, just a very awesome twist on a powerful archetype with a lot of really cool new cards. Sideboard's got one of the big anti-white cards people forgot existed in Archon Absolution. We've got the usuals here, Klothys for graveyard stuff, Akroan War for big creature stuff, Reidane, God of the worthy good against control decks, Scavenging his graveyards, you gotta get the idea. Or Fire Prophecy. Run Afoul, really cool against Goldspan Dragon. A clean answer, it does not target, which is nice. And of course, Chainweb's good against the Rogue deck. So, deck looks really, really cool. Definitely felt like the deck of the weekend, and we're gonna try it out. But first, we'd word from our sponsor at CoolStuffInc.com.
Cool Stuff Inc. is proud to sponsor Jim Davis. We offer great deals on card games, tabletop RPGs, board games, and more. Get a free token featuring Jim Davis and take 5% off your next order if you use the code JIM5 at checkout. CoolStuffInc.com. Cool stuff in stock.
Alright, round number 1. Ready to roll here. On play. Awesome. Okay. A little bit awkward of a hand here. Obviously, we have our tapped green source and some 1-drops, but this is fine. We can keep this. We can go Hedron on 1, and then decide what we're going to do on turn 2 based on that. This is fine. We can keep this. We have Toski too, which is pretty great, and some cheap 1/1s. So, play the Hedron as a land. Tangled Veil. There's a mirror of some kind. Alright, so we didn't draw a land, unfortunately, which kind of stinks, but we can play Sentinel here. And just play a land, so go. Setting up for a possible Innkeeper and a Stomp. Or Heart's Desire and a Stomp, based on what colors they are. So it looks like we're playing a mirror here, and they have a Stomp. So, we draw land. We draw land. We did not draw land. We did not draw land. So, We're going to play Innkeeper here. Normally we want to be a little more protective over our Innkeepers. You try and play Innkeeper when you can play another adventure creature in the same turn to guarantee value. But right now we're behind on cards, so we need to make it so if we draw the 1 mana adventure creature, we can draw cards off of it. Unfortunately, we did not. So it looks like we're in big trouble here, having not drawn a land the entire game. That's okay though. Hopefully, if we drew the Giant Killer, we could draw cards off that to make some land drops. So not a great spot. And there's Toski, and there's the attack. So, unfortunately, we just can't do anything, so we have no lands in play. So, hopefully we'll draw a land here. Because, Toski is the kind of card that snowballs really, really hard. Once it gets going, it does not let up, and it's very hard to come back from. So, draw 2 off Giant Killer. Pretty good draw. We draw Innkeeper. And yes, it is. Technically, it is a land. We are in pretty big trouble here. So we can chump block the Bonecrusher. Giant Killer can block the Toski. Showdown, yeah. Standard is definitely a format about snowballing advantages, where you kind of just want to keep things going, and once the ball starts to roll, it can be hard to get out of its way. Showdown, another card that's like that too. So we're gonna stop my Innkeeper, sure, and attack. We're gonna chump block. Deny damage on a card, and then we do draw land, which is definitely something. And now we can lean into Innkeeper plus Lovestruck Beast. The problem is they just have Showdown with Skalds with 4 spells available, so we're probably super dead. I don't think it matters what we do, but we'll try. We'll try, you know. Being a full 2 turns behind on mana development is not a good place to be. I doubt our Innkeeper's blocking, so we'll attack with that. And this is going to be a really bad turn for us, as they play 100 million things. Toski also not the worst vessel for both Showdown with Skald tokens as well as Gemrazer mutations. There's Lovestruck Beast, put a counter on something, make a flyer. So, yeah, I mean, they're gonna stomp something, and we're just dead. We should probably just go to the next game. Yeah, we're just gonna go to the next game. We're just super dead here. I mean, we're heinously behind on the board, and they have a billion cards in hand. So that happens. I think the keep is fine. You know, obviously it didn't work out, but I think keeping there is totally reasonable. So a mirror to start. What are we interested in a mirror? Probably not interested in Gemrazer, even though we can kill a Showdown. Like, it's already done most of the damage, I would think. Could kill the Akroan War. Not sure if they're going to bring the Akroan War also. Just kind of feels about getting ahead early, you know? Got the Gemrazers. I think we can shave a Toski, because realistically, there's going to be a lot of blockers floating around stuff. I like to bring in 2 Fire Prophecy. Kind of like the idea of a Akroan War, honestly. Not sure if I want both of them. You could like shave like a Hedron maybe. It's bad against Stomp. Yeah, it's bad. Let's bring a War. Shave a Hedron. Let's try this. Let's try this. We're on the play. Shaving a Squirrel is like a little questionable maybe, but alright, playing first. And, pretty funny, but sure. Like, the second Squirrel is, like, basically dead, because they can't really kill it in any way, but alright, we're going to keep this. It's a little loose, because we don't have much to do. It costs less than 4, but we also need to decide if we're playing Innkeeper on turn 1 or not. I kind of don't think we are. I think we're just going to play Passage and get a Plane as I go. Just don't want to expose Innkeeper to Stomp before we can draw a card off of it, if possible. Alright, by Sentinel, which is pretty good. We draw a Hedron, which actually is kind of fine here. If it gets stomped, it gets stomped, you know. If it doesn't, we'll just cast an early Toski. Set up for Showdown also. Okay. Not too shabby. And a Sentinel. Yeah, we're just jamming the old Toski here. You gotta be careful with Showdown. It's best to play Showdown on a turn you haven't played a land yet, and if you can do other things, you want to play them first. You don't want to waste your Showdown cards if you can, if it's possible. So, all right, yeah, well, let's play Toski here. I mean, like, it's probably not getting through yet, but playing Sentinel Innkeeper is kind of mana inefficient. So, and next turn, maybe we'll start playing Showdown. Clarion Spirit is really good. And Fire Prophecy. Okay. And they did not bottom a card, saying their hand is really good. That is that's terrifying for us. Alright, so now our options are to play Showdown, having already played a land, which kind of sucks. Or to play Innkeeper Sentinel. And just like set up for next turn, kind of. Definitely behind here. Definitely behind. And this has to attack, so... Yeah. Yeah, I think we're just playing Bolt of Beast, which kind of stinks, but... Not ready to just jam Showdown yet. I think we can do better next turn. Alright, well there's their Showdown, which is pretty good. And they hit Bonecrusher, Land, Innkeeper. Pretty insane. Pretty insane. The good news is they didn't have a green land, so they can't play the Innkeeper, the second spell. But they have Giant Killer, so still really good. Not the best attack I've ever seen, though. It's got Reach. Sneaky Reach. Clarion Spirit is super awkward because we can't double spell this turn. Alright, so we're going to Showdown and hope we hit some stuff here. Showdown, Sentinel, Land, Akroan War. That's pretty good. So the awkward thing is, like, we could play Clarion Spirit here. And then next turn play multiple spells. Yeah, that's fair. So they have Stomps for days. Yeah, I screwed up. I should have just played Sentinel. Alright. They have 2 Stomps they have to cast and an Innkeeper they have to cast. I guess if they're stomping, they're not drawing cards out of Innkeeper. I don't know. Toski can't attack profitably anyway, so... Like, they just stomp Spirit, stomp Innkeeper here. We're pretty behind. You never want to top yourself off with Toski. You don't necessarily want to just play it on turn 3 or 4 like we did, but we didn't have many options. Still think it's better than playing Showdown. I mean, we could have maybe just jammed the bad Showdown. Maybe a bad Showdown's better than Toski early. I mean, we're just, like, getting destroyed. Yeah. They have popped off pretty good here. Alright, we can, like, Akroan War to steal the Clarion Spirit, and then Sentinel to make a token, and I guess attack. Stupid freaking... We boarded 1 out. Maybe we should board 2 out, honestly. Pump the old Toski up. Give me Clarion Spirit, cast Sentinel. We'll pump the other Sentinel up. Make a token. We're still going here. You know, we're definitely not dead yet. We're pretty close to dead. It's going to be a real bad turn for us next turn, but... not. Having two basically blank cards in our hands not helping. See how good the deck is, though? Yeah, I mean, that's just an absolute disaster. I mean, Akroan War would kill their stuff if we are somehow still alive, but we just don't have any spells left. That's a pretty aggro tapping. A tap a Sentinel. And we're going to just get in here. We can double up on the 2-2. Take 3. They draw a card. Alright, I mean, we need to draw spells, but they're all land. Just killing me here. Just killing me here. I guess we could jam and just draw a bunch of cards and then hope we can just chain together a bunch of spells. We do have counters for playing things too. And they don't have like an insane lethal attack next turn. So maybe we just jam with everything. And just hope we can piece together like a bunch of cheap creatures. Wow, no blocks at all. That's a start. That's a good one. That's okay. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. So we play Spirit, Innkeeper, Stomp. Put a counter on this, I guess. And then we play, and we'll leave Stomp up. We want to Stomp the Giant Killer. I guess they're going to draw a million cards off his Innkeeper. I don't really care if I tap one thing, so sure, let's do this now. Stomp this, and put a counter on Flyer. Alright, that was pretty good. Clarion Spirit's the nut. And now this turn they have to attack with everything. And we make some pretty good blocks. And then whatever's left over will die because of this effect. They also get their Clarion Spirit back. So maybe I should put a counter. Oh, they drew a Showdown? Come on. Maybe putting a... oh my god, they just have everything. Look, they just, so many cards I can't even see them all. Putting a counter on the Clarion Spirit was probably wrong. Oh, they have a Sentinels they can tap too. That's pretty sick. Alright, so we just sort of block here and here. They're at 12. Like... huh. And... Sentinel... so let's just start this, I guess. Let's see what turns up. Giant Killer. God, they've got so many cards. 2, 2, 3, 3. They currently have no flyers. So we just jam with these. Draw a card off our flyer. Another land, not cool. Can leave up our chop down, which will probably be pretty useful. Play Sentinel, make a token. Just say go. They still just have like an asinine amount of cards. And we still have 2 dead squirrels in our hand, but So they're going to mutate onto the Toski, putting a counter onto the Toski. So now it's a 5/5 trample. It's obviously pretty good. I could probably just, like, put everything onto it and just destroy us. Can't really stop it. Just an indestructible 6/6 trample. Yeah, I mean, this is mostly a product of them just like drawing a million cards this game. They just drew a second Showdown to our only one, and we just basically mulligan to 5. We just, like, can't stop this thing. Could, like, throw something in front of it to soak some damage up, but we can't stop them from drawing a card. I don't know what our avenue to win here is. We'll chop down the Lovestruck Beast. And they just have 8 blockers. And we have another land. Alright. Draw a card off Innkeeper. Draw another Giant Killer. Alright. Draw a card off Innkeeper. Make a token. Lovestruck Beast. I think we're just casting Lovestruck Beast. I don't really see a purpose in just wasting a mana for a 1/1. So we need to draw something good here. Nope, that's a land. All right, so we have land, land, land. Squirrel, squirrel. Not too good for us. Okay. We'll send in Bonecrusher, both flyers. Never just did their flyers though. I don't even know. They still have Showdown too. We're just dead. I'm just gonna concede. Like, they can put counters on both flyers. We just can't do anything. Like, we can't stop the Gemrazer. We can't deal lethal damage, and we can't stop the Showdown either. So kind of a rough mirror there. Definitely our draws did not cooperate super well. Maybe we should just cast a Showdown on turn 3, which is not a thing I like to do at all. But maybe we could just mulligan too, I guess. I mean, maybe our hand just wasn't good enough. But definitely a super snowbally deck and snowbally matchup. Neither deck really interacts super well aside from Stomp, so getting on the board early is good. But hey, our deck won, right? And it's playing first. Sure. It's fine. Gemrazer is obviously good with the tokens. We can Hedron on 2 and then Spirit, play a spell hopefully on 3. Always want to cast a card with something else usually. That was a really good draw. Alright, so play Hedron. Swamp Go. Interesting. Sure. So a rogue's deck that's not playing Lurrus. Mill 2 adventure cards. Kind of stinks, but sure. Alright, so if they're not playing Lurrus, it means they probably have Brazen Borrower and the legendary card that steals stuff in the graveyard. Now we're pretty milled here. We can block if we want to. It's 2 cards away from being a 3/2. Or we can just play Gemrazer, and if they have a kill spell, it's pretty bad for us, but I think we just take this. Draw land, it's hard cast Gemrazer. It is a 4/4 reach, so they can't eliminate it either, so they have to have either Heartless Act or Drama Lock. They waste their turn killing this, we can resolve Showdown next turn, hopefully get some traction going. It's got Sneaky Reach. Sneaky Reach. So they're going to attack with just the 4/2 Death Toucher and not the Flyer. We willing to trade our Gemrazer for a Thieves Guild Enforcer? I don't think we are, so we're going to let this happen. Alright, so we draw another land. So unfortunately, this is a spot to play around things, and our options are just super limited. So you just have a naked Clarion Spirit with no other spell, or Showdown as our only big spell, which is pretty terrible, because they obviously have interactive spells here, which is pretty bad. So Showdown's like our literal only action spell. We can't have that countered. I guess we're just going to play Clarion Spirit, just play a land and put Jegantha into our hand. See if they counter this or not. Pretty rough. Pretty rough. I'm not going to counter it, unfortunately. Let's put Jegantha in hand. Say go. No attacks. We'll trade Spirit for Enforcer given the option, and then Gemrazer would obviously trade with the Soaring Thought Thief, so... just like not great hand so far, you know? Brazen Borrower for the Gemrazer, which is pretty annoying, but still can block Spirit on Enforcer. Our graveyard is already full, so the extra mills don't really matter. It's just a 2/3 flyer for the most part. Vantress Gargoyle. Okay. Of one mind. That is a non-human, sure. I mean, now we know we're playing multiple spells and gonna resolve things. I kind of want to leave Clarion Spirit in play now. So we can Showdown, then play something off Showdown. And then hitting a Stomp off Showdown is reasonable to kill this Enforcer. So we're just gonna take this. Okay. It's pretty funny that they bounce the Gemrazer. The Gemrazer also just kills this Vantress Gargoyle, but sure. I don't think we're doing that yet. We want to double spell this turn. We draw a bunch of expensive cards, so play Showdown and hopefully to Stomp. We did. Very lucky. Alright, so red. We're red in our hands. Make this a green. Oh my god, oh, what are you doing, Jim? Alright, so I glanced at the red in my hand and thought we had red in play. Obviously, now he can't Stomp, which is heinously terrible for us. That's okay. We'll pull it together. Play Innkeeper, make a token, say go. Really, really bad. Definitely wanted to do that. And now in comes Gargoyle and Soaring Thought Thieves. We'll just chump block the Gargoyle because we're at 9. If they'll let us, which they will. I think we're still in like pretty okay shape here, honestly. They counter Stomp. Kind of annoying, but they didn't play anything. They just 100% have a counter spell here. We do want to play our spells. We can obviously Gemrazer to kill this Vantress Gargoyle, which is a pretty big game. We're also dead in the air. So, if they have a way to kill our token. So let's just start by stomping. We're just going to stomp this. And then put a counter on... what? I don't know. Excuse me. Probably Spirit. They can just cast Borrower too, which is a problem. They're going to negate the thing. So perfect. So now we'll just probably mutate Gemrazer onto the Hedron, because we can't play another spell. So we're going to lose our Toski here, but whatever, I guess. Play a red land. Mutate here. Make a token. Put counter on, I guess, Innkeeper. So we have two blockers now. We have the Reaching Gemrazer, and we have the Spirit. Gemrazer will kill the Vantress Gargoyle, which is awesome. So, decent. And then we can just probably just say go here. I kind of want to keep the Clarion Spirit and the Innkeeper in play, so... Enforcer? Sure. Could be worse, I guess. Mill some cards. Now we're going to have to make some blocks, unfortunately, but... Which is pretty bad for our Toski, too. Yeah, not being able to stop that turn was pretty bad. Definitely an unfortunate misclick on the land. So we're attacking with a single Thieves Guild Enforcer. We're going to block with the Innkeeper. Clarion Spirit, far more valuable. Even though we have no spells in our hand, we can double spell with. We can draw any cheap spell in our entire deck. We did not. We drew a land, obviously. Cool. Alright. I guess Toski's coming to town. They do have Brazen Borrower available, so... Put a counter on... Probably... We need to, like, send Gemrazer. Probably need to send everything here, honestly. I guess we can't send the Clarion Spirit, but... we can't send the token either. Jeez. Put it here. They have a Heartless Act, because that would stink. Alright, so we're going to drown the Gemrazer. Floating for mana doesn't really do anything. Okay. I mean, Toski does get to block for a turn, which is pretty good. Pretty good. 7 million lands in our hand. So, we'll just say go. Opponent's been stuck on 3 for a bit, so we're having opposite problems. Pretty sure we're just taking 2 here. They can't play the legend. 25 isn't that bad, and then of course drawing cards off our spirits is big game, so... Tangled Florahedron. So we definitely want to get the Spirit off the Clarion Spirit. Enforcer just blocks Toski. Token can attack and maybe get blocked by a Brazen Borrower, but might get through. I guess they're just like not attacking with Clarion Spirit. So I guess we're just going to attack first. That's really bad. Alright, so another Soaring Thought Thief. And now all our stuff gets blocked. And we still don't have any spells in our hand that are relevant. Alright, Jegantha, Florahedron, land, green, red, red, white, white. So we are dead to any removal spell. And they have all spells in their hands, so we're probably dead. Yeah, I mean, obviously if I didn't misclick that land, we like might have been able to turn this game around. Actually, I didn't draw my spells anyway, but... Slow roll and rule spell. Sounds really cool. Appreciate that. Alright, so tough game there. Misclick probably cost us the game. We're going to bring in Chainweb, Run Afoul, 2 Fire Prophecies, 2 Scavengers, and 2 Klothys, which is a lot of stuff. Don't want Gemrazer. A lot of cards to board out, honestly. Like, you want their removal spells, you want the graveyard stuff. Maybe we shave a Toski, because, like, it's obviously uncounterable, but it's just, like, they have a lot of removal. Which seems fine. Bonecrusher's great. Lovestruck Beast. Shave, like, a Hedron or two. Sentinel's good. I guess Giant Killer is pretty bad. It's, like, okay as a cheap adventure creature, but not really gonna kill anything super relevant. And then I gotta cut one more card. It might just be Toski. We are cutting some of our creatures. It just feels like if we can get a bunch of stuff in play, we're gonna be fine anyway. So let's just shade down on Toski. Okay. Sure. So we'll keep this. Probably Sentinel. We turn 2 Hedron. We just play land. I suppose we play Hedron as a land. Then turn 2 Fire Prophecy or Desire. Turn 3 Klothys. Yeah. Alright. Sentinel definitely gets worse on Mulligan. It's more of a critical mass kind of card. It allows you to deploy your things quickly, but if you don't have things, it's not very good. Okay. Land go. So we're definitely looking to play Klothys. See what they do here. We just play land as they go. They need to have pretty much exactly Essence Scatter to counter our Klothys. They would also like to counter our Lovestruck Beast with that too, so I think we just jam Lovestruck Beast. Sure. Not going to attack into the 1-3. Sure, that's fine. Most important thing is rogues, just to keep them from getting on the board and getting ahead. So they can't lean back on their reactive cards. That was a pretty good draw. So we'll start by Heart's Desiring. If they counter it, we get to play land and play Klothys, which is awesome. So, does resolve. Alright, so same thing. Play it again. The real prize is Klothys, so we'll just keep chilling. If you want to counter or kill this, sure. Same idea, no attacking into the 1-3. They say go. Okay, so now we're like pretty ahead on the board, which is good. Vantress Gargoyle. I guess I could have left my Gemrazers in. Alright, start by playing Clarion Spirit, see what they do. Can't block unless you have 4 more cards in now, which they do. Spirit resolves. We can attack into this and then Prophecy post-combat. I kind of like that. Yeah, I'm not playing Klothys yet into a counter spell. Really, really, really want Klothys to resolve. So we're gonna trade with the Gargoyle. Sure, that's fine. Take some points. Now we're just 2 cards in the bin. So do we jam Klothys? We can only have Essence Scatter, and we're once in their card goes. I think we're just gonna jam it. Get a Spirit off our thing too, so they have to have Essence Scatter here. And they didn't scatter the Spirit, so. Alright, so that is pretty good. That's pretty good. We have a good board. We got Klothys in play, kill spell in hand. They've got our only 2 cards in our graveyard. Pestilent Haze. That is a card that is legal in this format. -2/-2 and end of turn to all creatures. Sure. They have 1 blue up, so we can resolve something if you would like to. We're going to remove a card from our graveyard, I think. Just stomp them and play Bonecrusher. We have Prophecy in hand anyway. Again, it's going to be on the board ahead of our opponent if possible. Divination has been cast. Perhaps Council of Azor Tommy, if you're an older school player. Land, sure. Sure, it's a little awkward, but sure. Go to 12, jam. Just gonna put Jegantha in hand. Leave a Fire Prophecy. Thieves Guild Enforcer. Never mind. Let's cast the Fire Prophecy. And we're gonna bottom this Innkeeper, given that we have no adventure cards currently. And there's probably better cards to draw. I kind of think we are. It's a little weird, but that's the worst one for sure. Run Afoul, Clarion Spirit. Sure, Jegantha in hand. Super ahead here. We're gonna hold the Hedron. Are we? Yeah, we'll just play it. Super ahead here. Obviously, we have a good creature in play, Klothys in play, and they're at 8 with nothing. So, Extinction Event to exile our Bonecrusher. Sure. Unsummon the Klothys. I mean, we're gonna recast it. And just play Giant Killer, I guess. I don't have much to actually kill with Giant Killer. I guess they had the legend. I guess they have Banished Gargoyle too. Yeah, let's hold it. I don't think a 1/2 makes much difference on this board. We could easily just draw some card that makes this relevant. Clarion Spirit, Edgewall Innkeeper, etc., etc. Gonna say go. Fire Prophecy is a great draw. Exile our Fire Prophecy. Probably gonna jam the old Jegantha here. I guess we were a little scared of them hitting us with the legend. But it's fine. So they could go Borrower, untap, attack us, flash the legend in. They could steal our Clarion Spirit or our Lovestruck Beast, which is really not the end of the world. I guess I shouldn't have exiled this Fire Prophecy. I should have considered the graveyard stuff. That's fair. Enforcer, sure. Milling over nothing of relevance. Raising Borrower, sure. 7 cards in the bin. Now they're considering 2 mana what else they want to do. They're also ready to cling to dust to their own Banished Gargoyle to draw a card. Sure. Play land. Play the story. Just got us 7 cards too. Just barely. Pretty good. Obviously huge card. One of the most important cards in their deck. Let me draw a Showdown of the Skalds, which is pretty good. Pretty good. Probably need to resolve it, of course, but... Alright, so we're gonna just move right to combat and jam. They are at 7, effectively dead on board to Klothys next turn. We're going to play a Soaring Thought Thief. We'll mill some cards, thereby making Enforcer to a 4-2, which we can go with our Giant Killer, actually. But now we can Giant Killer and just kill this, too, which is pretty insane, so let's do that. Chop this down. And Fire Prophecy this. Gonna keep the Showdown. Gonna keep that one. Put you 2 dead on board to play this. Decent amount of lands. 8 mana total, 4 cards in hand. We have the Act for the Jegantha. Now, what about Klothys? Now, I suppose whatever I target with Klothys, they can exile with Cling to Dust to buy a turn, but that does cost 4 mana, and the cards in the graveyard are not infinite, so they can't do this every turn forever. They could also gain 3 life by exiling a creature, which is probably worse than just fizzling the effect. Or they'll just do it now and not respond to my Klothys, which does target. They have blue up. We're just jamming. I only have 1 white though, so I can't play the Giant Killer. That's fine though. Show me a negate. Or a stroke, I guess. Alright. There's your Stomp. And some lands. Another Klothys. Not as as good as the first one, but sure. Yeah, sure. Pretty good. So a lot better there. A lot better. We played spells and won the game. Even with Vantress Gargoyle, I still don't think we want Gemrazer in our deck. It's just like too high of a fail rate. It's too clunky. I'll tell you a Giant Killer actually played better than I thought it would. They have Vantress Gargoyle and the 4-2. I guess there has to be a 1-3 in play for it to be a 4-2 also, so that's fine. You need to keep our creature count up to a reasonable level. Alright, game 3. And we have a 1-drop and no way to play it. I think this is fine. We have Bonecrusher and Prophecy, so 2 early kill spells to keep them off the board. We got Toski here, it's uncounterable, which is nice. So would like to draw Forest. That would be nice. They have a Duress, which is quite the card to bring against our deck. We have like, what, 6 non-creatures, but sure. Alright, just play Passage, get Forest. Not ideal. Taking Prophecy certainly hurts our hand. Now the 1-3 is much more live, but we can't block the 1-3 with Sentinel and then Stomp too, so not that they wouldn't know about it. Tangled Florahedron. So I'd rather cast the Hedron and the Sentinel. Guess Hedron. Makes sense. Just a better Sentinel basically because it costs 2 and not 1. Do they have the 1-3? Are they considering countering my poor Tangled Florahedron? Oh. The poor plant. Elemental. Is that a plant? Looks planty. Alright, sure. Let's play Sentinel, leave up our Stomp. The old Force Spike. Is there a Soaring Thought Thief? Sure. Annoying, but sure. We've got 3 in the bin at present. We can block and Stomp, so Sneaky Reach once again. We're going to play an Agadeem tapped. Pre-combat. They're eyeing my poor Sentinel. So they're going to Brazen Borrower to bounce my Sentinel. We could Stomp it to fizzle the Borrower. Sort of like preemptively stomping Borrower. This Borrower is kind of annoying. And the Stomp isn't doing much else. Just play Toski next turn. So they're not that many creatures to actually block Toski with. So if this resolves, we untap and like play what? Toski anyway. Yeah, we're going to stomp here. Yeah, I'm sure. So, goodbye Brazen Bar. They have 2 cards left. We have 4 cards in the graveyard. They don't have double blue yet for inventory. They mill Showdown land. Showdown is pretty good. It kind of sucks, but we tried Innkeeper. That's also really good. That's actually better. So better lucky than good. We're gonna go get a forest. That was a mistake, actually. We just put. I guess it doesn't matter. 7. We should put the 7th card in our graveyard. Eh, they get to stack anyway. That was probably a mistake, though. Should just play the planes. Hey, Bonecrusher, draw a card. Sure. So this is all fine. Now you have 2 bodies in play for our Toski. Extinction event on odd. That is pretty good. Also, one of their few answers is probably to remove this Toski from the battlefield, which kind of sucks, but sure. Right, so now we're at 9 in the bin, so it doesn't really matter anymore. We draw a land, which is fine. Let's play this and play this. Now they are in a spot where what Toski does is Toski forces your opponent to not be able to ignore the board. You have to deal with Toski. You have to deal with Sentinel in some way. Because you can't let me start drawing cards and snowballing. So, Soaring Thought Thief number 2, and they're going to get in. They're going to get in. They're going to mill some cards. You have 1 spider in there somewhere. I would love to mill that one. No blocks. Maybe like Clarion Spirit, which is obviously pretty awkward. Alright, I mean, we just jam here. They have a kill spell. They would just kill the Sentinel anyway, so can't kill Toski. They can't like block Sentinel, kill Toski, so trade Sentinel for a card. Draw a card, looking for a spell here. That is a spell. So now our Clarion Spirit does make a token, which is pretty big. Play this. And play Giant Killer. We have green, green, white, white. I guess I'll take red, red, sure. Put that in our hand. Now we're looking pretty good. Now we're pretty wide. Extinction event uneven would kill a lot of our stuff, but would kill their stuff too, which is totally fine, I guess. And Toski is starting to snowball. The snowballing squirrel. Blood Chief's Thirst targeting Giant Killer, not Clarion Spirit. Interesting. Alright, they're going to attack and mill. Come on, Spider. Come on, Spider. Only 1 Spider in there. I mean, 1 Spider is a lot when they mill like half your deck, so Spider would be real, real good here. Alright, so draw another land. I think we're just... Oh, man. So we attack with, like, Toski and Token and try and draw 1. Just draw a spell. We could send Clarion Spirit. We'd be sacrificing it to draw a card, though. That's not really worth it. Unfortunately, we're just dying in the air, and we don't have any spells again. Alright. Big draw here. We really need to draw a spell. Or have them not have Brazen Borrower. Draw a spell, please. That is a spell. That is a good spell, actually. We're going to start with... I guess we can get 4 spiked here. Let's start here. This is the only one we actually want to resolve, so... Alright, so pretty good, but... We get to play land and Jegantha and make a token. We are dying, but we have things in play at least. Clarion Spirit and Toski, pretty good together. Pretty good together. Now the question is, do we need to block here? I think the answer is no. Toski in play. So we'll just go to 5. That was a good one. That was a good one. Alright, we jam. Thieves Guild Enforcer. So sure. Annoying, but sure. We can just, as long as you draw another spell here, it'll be alright. Well, we can just mill this spider too. It'd be really, really cool if we could do that. Alright, they blocked Jegantha, which is fine. We're gonna deal some damage to draw 3 cards here, which should seal the deal, I would hope. Oh yeah. Alright, well. As long as the first one's good, right? And then we're gonna play green, and we're gonna run afoul to get our token. 2 tokens, sorry. And that should probably do it. Yeah, I think we're in great shape now. Even without milling our spider. Extinction event on even would reset the board. Which I guess could be a little scary. But what are you gonna do? Let's draw Showdown. If that happens. Only milled 1 so far. Alright, so jam with everything. Only get punished here if they have like Borrower to bounce the Toski. And even then it's like not that bad. Snowball in. Rolling down the hill. Alright, stomp, sure. Yeah, I mean, somewhat of a comedy, drawing a million cards. Don't want to make Extinction Event too good, so we're gonna hold on to some of our stuff, but Drama Lock, the Stomp. Okay. I mean, now you can resolve a Showdown, which is just like insane. So Showdown, Innkeeper. There's our stupid spider. God, where you been all my life? Where you been all my life? Finish that one off for me, please. Thank you. Alright, so even if they have Extinction Event, we still have a spider and a Showdown in play, and a million more cards. So sweet. So that was pretty cool. Definitely the power of Toski on display there. After a somewhat rough first game. Deck's clearly very powerful. It is definitely a little more synergy based than the typical adventure deck. Because the typical adventure deck's a little more like just kind of like raw power level. Like the only real synergy cards of a deck are the Innkeepers, and like the adventure cards are just good anyway. We've got things like Clarion Spirit and Toski, which can be very, very good, but have a little more of a fail rate too. But they're really, really good when they work. So. We do have turn 2 Innkeeper and yeah, I would say keep this. We have turn 2 Innkeeper and then Giant Killer draw a card. So I have a little faith here. Little Tangled Veil action. Mountain. Fireblade Charger. Oh, you have a land. That's pretty good. There's our white. I'm just gonna jam. Cool. It's not blocking Charger. I wonder if there's a world we just cast they're just gonna not even attack with the Fireblade Charger? I mean, if the Charger dies, my Innkeeper dies, which seems great for them, so that's kind of weird. I mean, like, leaving up Stomp is, like, it's fine. Killing neither of these creatures really matter. I kind of want to just play Bonecrusher here, honestly. Draw a card. Just a pretty bad tempo play to Stomp and do nothing else this turn. They're most likely to play Annex next turn, which I can't Stomp anyway. Yeah. A little weird, for sure. Sentinel. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. So now we can play Spirit Sentinel next turn and set up for our Toski. We can also go Spirit Mutate if they play Annex. Alright, they're going to attack with both their creatures, signifying that they have Stomp in their hand, or they have the +2/+0. And if Charger dies, they kill the Innkeeper, so we're just like not going to block here. I guess like we could block Giant Killer on the turn. Actually, I'd like that for champion. Let's put this here. I don't care if Giant Killer dies, whatever. Sure. Totally fine. Yeah, looking pretty good here. Looking pretty good. So we can just Toski. And the cool thing about playing Toski is when you play Bide Nathasa, you take a turn off and do nothing and don't affect the board. Toski blocks for a turn, which is pretty awesome. We can also just play Clarion Spirit Sentinel, but no, we're going to Toski here. Get the snowball rolling. Sure. So the next turn we have, oh, never mind, it's not right. Oh, good enough. Good enough. Good enough indeed. So, we're going to bring in Fire Prophecy. I actually don't mind Chainweb against this deck because they just have a lot of random 1/1s and it blocks, and then they might have the Phoenix post board, but we'll see what we want. Scavenging is pretty good. Klothys, a little slow, I think. Gemrazer kills Annex and Embercleave. That's pretty good. You can shave a Toski against. We're on the draw, too. Giant Killer isn't great here, either. I'm going to shave a Giant Killer on, like, 2 Hedrons. Definitely don't want to cast Hedron against a Stomp deck, so I'm pretty happy to shave it. And then we'll leave Chainweb out. I think we have plenty of blockers, so... And then I don't think we want Klothys, so this is good. Pretty happy with this. One of Mulligans. I think we just keep, honestly. Like, we just have 1-drop, 2-drop, and, like, if we're super flooded, we can just Jegantha, which is pretty good against mono red anyway. We can just, like, draw spells. So I think this is fine. If they didn't mulligan, I probably would have mulligan, but I think with them on 6, I'm pretty fine with this. We can just draw any spells. Or lands. Lands are good, too. Without Jegantha, we would mulligan. But having a little flood insurance here is pretty nice. Robber of the Rich. That's pretty annoying. And they hit a land. That was good. So, would draw on land next turn. Clarion Spirit is very good. Isn't really a way to empty our hand and nullify this Robber of the Rich with them mulliganing on the play. So, we're just gonna attack for 1 and play Hedron, I think. While I would like to play Clarion Spirit, I want to get value off of it. We can't do that yet. You just draw literally any spell. We can do that, so... Robber number 2. They hit a Showdown of a Skalds. Oh my god, that is so good. We're going to lose to our own Showdown. How devastating. We're going to Rimrock Knight, but 4 blocks. Sure. Alright, well, let me do another land. Alright, so everything's coming up Millhouse for our opponent. That's pretty cool, I guess. Yeah, I mean, if they have a land, they're just going to Showdown next turn and destroy us. Just going to put Jegantha in our hand and say go, I guess, and make for some blocks. Maybe I'm being a little too conservative with this Clarion Spirit. Maybe we should try and get in there and block, but they hit a Lovestruck Beast and a Fire Prophecy. Alright, I think we're going next game here. You got it, opponent. You're good. You're good. Alright. Can't stop both of them, and let's just go to the next game here. It's fine. I mean, kept a somewhat loose one. Got mega punished. It happens. It happens. So many cards in his deck just, like, do it all by themselves. Like, 1 Lovestruck Beast or 1 Bonecrusher Giant, and we easily win that game. So, another awkward hand. We just cannot put together a reasonable hand today, unfortunately. We can get turn 2 Sentinel on the... We're going to mulligan this. The second Toski's almost worthless, too, so... This is better. Keep this. Ship Toski. Don't want to stomp on 2 or Innkeeper on 1. Probably stomp on 2. So probably play this and get a forest. Need some of those lands from last game, you know? Or Gemrazer, it's fine too, I guess. Alright. Fervent Champion. Not like thrilled about this. I actually just killed a Fireblade Charger. Because I have double Innkeeper in play. And Champion's pretty worthless unless I draw another Champion. Yeah, I'm gonna kill this. And they have a Rimrock Knight. Sure. I'm gonna target their Charger. It's the same thing, right? Sure. And we draw Clarion Spirit. I just... Oh my god. And they have second Fervent Champion, so you get maximum punished. Oh my god. Some days aren't your day, you know? Like, can't draw a reasonable mix of lands and spells. Can't... Opponents just make all the wrong choices there. Like, I mean, like, if they don't draw a Fervent Champion, I think killing the Fireblade Charger is definitely correct. But they just drew a Fervent Champion, which if they had already had, they for sure would have cast over playing the Rimrock Knight. So, like, they definitely just drew it, too. Oh my god. I don't know. I don't know, folks. Alright, let's, I guess this ain't blocking, right? So... Gonna get Ember Cleaved here, too. Oh, yeah. 100% Ember Cleave. Alright, I mean... What are you gonna do? Like... Alright. So now we're 1 and 2. It does feel like we must have kicked the puppy this morning or something like that, but kicked a puppy. Now we're getting karma'd out. Sorry, Karn. Sorry, Karn. Alright, on the play. And another... I guess we have the Hedron. That's fine, we can keep this. Let's play Hedron or play Tangled Veil again. Alright, Tangled Veil. Snow-covered plains, Usher of the Fallen. Okay. So, a little white weenie, like a Snow White action. We can just jam Clarion Spirit pretty safely, I think. And the next turn we can go Sentinel. Oh, we can't. Oh, we can go Sentinel Giant Killer. That works. Get these flyers going. So, Spirit this turn. Sentinel Giant Killer tap land next turn into Toski. Best Savannah line ever. Ooh. So Aspirant's pretty good. It actually makes our Giant Killer have a lot more value. So I kind of want to just hold the Giant Killer now. And we've drawn a Hedron, but I also want to play 2 spells too. Ugh, so awkward. So awkward. Just play the Hedron now, I guess. Let's play Hedron, play Passage for Mountain. Yeah. We can't double spell this turn. Unless we want to use Giant Killer, so... That's pretty good. So that defends against the chop down, but Another Usher of the Fallen, sure. So they're gonna like play around the Giant Killer. It's pretty heads up play on their part. Hopefully this will allow us time to go wide. So they can safely attack that with the Savior. A little surprised they didn't attack the previous turn. I think trading for Clarion Spirit's like pretty good, but so we'll take a bunch here and start trying to make some tokens and blockers. Lovestruck Beast certainly blocks pretty well in this scenario. So we can just go Heartstyle, Lovestruck Beast, flying token. Drawing land's nice too. So now I can triple spell now, which is not as good as double spelling, but sure. Yeah, this is fine. This. I think we actually hold on to Sentinel for next turn. We actively just want to play 2 spells next turn. It's the cheapest way to do so. Just say go. And being stuck on 2 lands definitely good for us. Sure. So play Hollowblade, that's fine. Our goal is to get things in the air and get the Squirrel going. Again, Squirrel being able to be blocked the turn you play it, pretty clutch here too. Sure. So 4/2 Hollowblade. 3 cards in hand still. We draw another land. Cool. So now it's Squirrel time, and we send in the 1 flyer, draw a card, and just keep making flyers, I guess. Branchloft. I should have played this on white, probably. Toski. Toski. Yeah. Could send Lovestruck Beast, but pretty easy block with Hollowblade and something else to kill it. Draw a card. It's a Stomp. That is pretty good. I guess we'll play this on green. Play Sentinel. We can just shoot. I'll play on white. Play Sentinel. Using Hedron as a blocker is not a big loss. I want to have double white for a Giant Killer or other white spells. Currently going wider than the white we need deck, which is pretty cool. Toski block is pretty huge too. This is just a good big lesson in tempo. Like playing cards that don't affect the board is always very tough. And Binathos definitely had that problem. But Toski being able to block for that 1 clutch turn is actually pretty huge. Now they have a 5/3 Hollowblade, which is whatever. Toski will obviously start attacking and running into brick walls next turn, but I get to untap safely with Toski in play, which is awesome. Passage, sure. Only have 1 mountain, huh? Alright, sure, I guess. Alright, jam with the flyers. And Toski, I suppose. Probably gonna stomp the Luminarch Aspirant. Make him use the Savior, which is fine. Then we can Giant Killer down something at some point, I guess. I don't know. Realistically, I don't see them beating the combination of Toski and Clarion Spirit here. Gemrazer. That's pretty cool. And Innkeeper. Wow. Alrighty then. Let's play Innkeeper. Stomp Aspirant. Can't stop the Savior directly because it's not present because of the spell. Tap for red, tap Innkeeper. Draw more cards, stupid thing. Not really seeing a super good way out here for our opponent. Like, maul the Skyclaves as a way to like fly over, like could be a way out, but we just have Gemrazer, and we're not gonna. We also have Giant Killer too, so like land maul on Hollowblade would be a decent bop, but we just have Gemrazer anyway. So we could just Gemrazer aggressively onto the Toski, which would make it a 4/4 trample, but a 4/4 trample indestructible. But yeah, riding on the wall here. Toski plus Clarion Spirit, too strong, too strong. So we're going to bring in our one copy of Archon of Absolution. I actually kind of like Run Afoul here, because they're almost surely playing 4 copies of Maul, and it's just an insane tempo play. And then Fire Prophecy. Don't think we want the Akroan War. We can again shave a Toski, I think. Casting Hedron isn't like terrible against them, but it just feels like the weakest card in the deck. Yeah, I don't think we want Akroan War against them. Scavenging Ooze, no. Spider, Klothys. We gotta cut 3 cards here. Giant Killer is a little. Let's cut a Giant Killer and 2 Hedrons. Pretty good hand. It's also nice, obviously, that they don't have much removal in their deck, so we can happily just play Innkeeper on 1. And then probably Spirit on 2. We'll see what we draw. Get good mana here. Savior, sure. They could have Glass Casket, but that's their turn 2. I think it's fine. And honestly, if Casket hits this, it's not hitting Clarion Spirit. So they do have a Skyclave apparition, I guess. But Luminarch Aspirant. It's gonna go on the dog. No blocks. Toski. All right. I think we're gonna play Giant Killer and just draw a card and guarantee a draw. They'll probably Skyclave this. Then we can just play Clarion Spirit safely. So. Love to draw a 1-drop here. We have a decent amount of, honestly. We got, what, 11 of them? 10 of them? Not quite a 1-drop. Not quite a 1-drop, for sure. Obviously, we drew a 1 Archon Absolution, which is also great, so. Would love to play Spirit plus 1-drop next turn, but another Aspirant, so no Skyclave. They are going to make a large Aspirant, though. Okay. We can just tap the big duper down next turn too and not play a spell. We drew a Hedron. Which is probably, yeah, we're just gonna play this as a land as I go. I think I'd rather tap this than play Clarion Spirit because we're playing a 4-drop anyway. We're not double spelling, so we'll just say go. Contain the board a bit, get Archon Absolution going. Haven's real good. Haven's real good. There's your Skyclave. Sure. You're going to target the Giant Killer. Interesting. Not the Innkeeper. Let's look it in for probably 4 here. We'll go to 11. Untap and play Archon Absolution to really halt the attacks, hopefully. Is blocking the Selfless Savior crazy? Don't currently have any... we have a lot of gas and not a lot of zero adventure cards. Yeah, I'll block here, actually, now that I think about it. 1 less point. Savior's not in play for later. I don't like that. Draw Sentinel, sure. So Mountain Archon. Hopefully they don't have the artifact that kills it. There's like a 1-mana artifact that can deal 3 to something. It's the sideboard tech against this sideboard tech. Hopefully we're not too far behind here, because they do have some pretty large attackers. They're going to fire up the old Haven. Okay, that's pretty good. Fire up and counter up. So Toski can block this next turn. Here at 6. Another Innkeeper. Yeah, I mean, I think it's just Toski, Innkeeper. Block for a turn. Next turn, Spirit, and either Showdown or Spirit and Sentinel. We could go Spirit and 1-drop here, but it's just not nearly as mana efficient, so... Attacking with the Haven's very expensive. Toski can block it for a turn anyway. And then we can start churning out tokens and chump blocking it. Their stuff's getting really big, which is a little scary. We don't necessarily mop up big boards that well, but we can just kind of go big ourselves too. So here comes the Haven anyway, which is a little weird. We just have Toski. So what is the stick here? Sword of the Realms. So they're just pumping. I mean, we just have Toski. The Mighty Squirrel. What could you possibly do against the raw power of the Mighty Squirrel Toski? +2/+0 on Vigilance, and it dies, it brings back to your hand. Sure. Okay, so, we drew a land. So now we can Spirit and Showdown. Now, of course, Toski has to attack. Oh, why'd I play... we were playing Spirit first. So I see kind of like half-play land, which is kind of annoying, but... So, send Toski in. Run into a brick wall, which is fine. And we're going to go Spirit first, then Showdown. Make our token blocker. And hope we don't die this turn, and hope next turn is really good. We hit Bonecrusher, Lovestruck Beast, Clarion Spirit. That was a really, really good hit. So as long as we don't die this turn, I think we'll be alright. As long as we don't die and the Clarion Spirit survives. So we can start making tons of tokens. Two guards in hand, 6 lands in play. A very large Faceless Haven. Ready to be chump blocked by this 1/1 Spirit. Usher of the Fallen is about the least of my worries. I couldn't imagine a card that would scare me less right now, so... Fire up the Haven. We're just going to keep pumping the Haven up. I mean... don't think we're particularly scared about this. It still doesn't have trample. You check again, but still no trample. And then this next turn is going to be exceptionally good for us. Alright, Toski again, whatever. So, and also now you start pumping our Toski up, I guess. It's funny we can't target the Archon because it's pro-white, obviously. Alright, let's play this. We're playing Clarion Spirit, Stomp, Heart's Desire. And I think we're going to start dumping counters on the Toski, honestly. It's got to attack anyway, so... Just going to stomp the Skyclave, I guess. Get our 1/1 blue creature, which could matter if they have protection stuff to push through chump blockers, and we'll play Sentinel too. Put a counter on the old Toski. Send in Toski, and that's it. I could send the Archon, honestly, because we have fly blockers now anyway. But let me lay it back. I don't think drawing an extra card is necessary here. Let's just like not die. Something stupid. Not sure what that would be, but yeah, most of us have Vigilance, doesn't matter. Draw Sentinel, sure. There's one mean squirrel. There's your Maul of Skyclaves, sure. But we have many, many flying blockers, and this is pro-white anyway, so... They just really like building one really big creature that cannot get through our wall. Alright, you have a 10/8 flying first strike vigilance human cleric. I have a pro-white creature. And we're about to go wide as can be. Wide as the Grand Canyon. We are playing many, many, many spells next turn. Sure. Whoa, doggy. Alright, that's a beginning, I guess. So, where do you even start? Probably Bonecrusher Giant, I guess. Planes. I mean, Giant Killer can like. They have a savior anyway. Lovestruck Beast. Get up a green. Draw a card. Put a counter on the Toski. Make some flyers. Draw another Innkeeper. Okay. Play Innkeeper. Put a counter on Toski. Toski is lethal to this thing. Can like send in Toski and 2 tokens. I don't even think you need to like draw more cards, honestly, you know. And they give us pro white, all the stuff falls off of it. So like, it would still kill us, I guess. Actually, no, we've reached 2. So yeah, I mean, I don't think we can really lose here, honestly. Like, we just have basically everything covered. The way to cheat us out would be to like somehow sneak this thing through, and we have green blockers and white blockers, and all right, so there goes your Self-a-Savior. Sure, we have 1 Sentinel. You can't Giant Killer or whatever. Draw a card. Sure, play Plains. Add a green, tap this. Desire, put a counter on. I can start putting up flyers, I guess, maybe. I think 8/8 Toski is good enough, probably. Maybe not, actually. Let's put on the Toski. And then we'll just say go here. With a board so wide, I can't even see it all. Right. Yep. Yeah. Not really able to. I don't see the white deck overcoming a board like this ever. So that's pretty sweet. So overall, 2-2. I think that we did run a little bad in a lot of these games, and also a critical misclicker there for sure. Maybe a bad keep. Maybe. You know, definitely first time playing the deck. But this deck seems really, really good. I mean, there's no doubt. The thing is, like, when you see a new deck, you know, how much of a deck is already proven is a big question. You know, are these cards already good? You know, what's the new catch here? This is just like a bunch of already proven cards. The Innkeeper, Lovestruck Beast, Bonecrusher Giant engine is one of the most proven engines in the entire format, right? And then Showdown of Skalds is one of the best cards in the format. So we have a good engine already and a proven card. And we're adding in this cool synergy package of Clarion Spirit and Toski, little Gemrazer too, and the Sentinels. And we saw in that match how good Toski and Clarion Spirit is. Like, just like a real good pair of cards. Toski's really, really good. 4 is a lot, but it is really, really good. Really good snowball deck. Playing Jegantha is nice too. Deck just seems really, really good. So probably looking at one of the better decks in the format currently. This has been a pretty exciting standard format because it's changed a lot over the first, like, 4 weeks. It's been changing literally every week. It's like Sultai is unbeatable, and now Rogues is unbeatable, and now Rakdos is unbeatable, and now this deck's unbeatable. So who knows what the future holds. But for right now, this deck does seem really, really good if you're looking to rank up in the new season. And, yeah, give it a spin. Give it a spin. I'm Jim Davis for CoolStuffInc.com. Don't forget to check out CoolStuffInc.com. There's a companion article to this video, as always, on CoolStuffInc.com, as well as great deals on card games, board games, miniatures, Magic singles, Magic sealed product. You name it, they got it. CoolStuffInc.com. Promo code JIM5 will get you 5% off your order and a free Jim Davis Goblin token, which is awesome. So, CoolStuffInc.com. I'm Jim Davis. I'll see you next week. Thanks for watching. Have a good one, folks.